Hey, what's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. It's Elena, aka Lady Smash, and we are going to start our seeds today. We're going to start planting seeds. Today is February 14th, Valentine's Day, aka Love Day. And I was supposed to do this over the weekend, but I kind of ran out of time, so I didn't get a chance to do it. But I want to go ahead and get this stuff started. Because y'all just seem to be busy all the time. So there's no time like the present. So let's go ahead and get this started. I'm going to show you how I'm going to be starting my seeds indoors. So right now I'm in my garage, so I'm sorry if it's a little dark right now. But I'm going to be starting some seeds indoors in these little Dollar Tree. Okay, this does not have to be an expensive thing. Okay, what I'm getting ready to show y'all. And your gardening doesn't have to be expensive either. Okay, a lot of my tools that I get from the Dollar Tree. If you watched my previous video, my first video here on the channel, you saw that I bought some plant labels that look like this. Okay, I get these from the Dollar Tree. Now, while I did buy some from Amazon, let me show y'all what those look like. These are dirty. I gotta wash them off. These came from Amazon, but I don't particularly like these, even though they come in a much larger quantity, because when I try to clean them off, like this year, I'll be needing to use new ones, right? These ones from the Dollar Tree kind of have like this slick type of feel to them. I don't know if you can tell it. They're kind of shiny on the camera, while these ones are not. Okay, these are more like a matte finish on these. And so if you try to take the isopropyl alcohol and wipe them off on here, you have a much harder time trying to get the lettering or the Sharpie off of here as opposed to the Dollar Tree ones. So I like these much better, and I'll do a demonstration of that in another video just to kind of show you guys the difference between the two. But I really like these Dollar Tree ones because for that reason. So, and then also the stakes are much longer. Okay, so anyway, I got some of these starter pots from the Dollar Tree as well. I forget how many come in a pack. Let me see here, because I did buy some new ones this year. So they have the smaller ones, and the smaller ones, I think there's like 10 of these in a pack. And then you have the larger ones, which are this size. And these are, I want to say there's like maybe 6 in a pack of these. And of course, we know Dollar Tree is no longer Dollar Tree. It's like $1.25 Tree. But anyway, this is still a cheap way to start your seeds. The next thing I want to show you is that they have tools. So you can get gardening tools from the Dollar Tree. This is a shovel. And I have several of these because last year I bought like 2 sets because I thought my son was going to be helping. Well, he was helping me a little bit, but yeah, I have 2 sets, and then I just bought this new set this year, and I got this here. This is the cultivator. Okay, and these are really nice and sturdy. Like, these are really good. This one is just like the shovel, the one I just showed you, and then this one is what is this one called? A transplanter. So this is perfect for when we are going to be taking the seedlings out of these pots and then transplanting them into either a container or into our raised beds. Okay, and then you can also get gloves at the Dollar Tree. Now the gloves I don't particularly care for because they're really thin. I got these gloves, came in a pack of 2 at Home Depot. I want to say I spent maybe $12, but these are really good gloves. Okay, and I haven't even used the other ones yet, so I've been working with these gloves since last year. They're really heavy duty, and like my hands don't get dirty and stuff like that. So I really like them. They're reinforced, and I just really like them. They fit my hands really well. And this is the Expert Gardener brand. Okay, so there's that. Next thing you're gonna need some kind of a tray to put these pots in, these starter pots. So I was using these last year because I had everything in the greenhouse. Remember, last year I started outside. I didn't start inside, and I started, I want to say, maybe in March. So I was outside the whole time, but I still needed some kind of a tray to put my little pots in. And let me show you real quick. Let me turn you around. I'm in my junky garage right now. We're trying to like rearrange the garage. So if you see junkiness in the back, that's what's going on. We're still trying to get everything situated in here the way we want. But let me show you these little bins here. And that's my little craft station over there. Some of y'all may know I do crafts in my spare time as well. That's my business. So anyway, these you can find at the Dollar Tree. I did get these at the Dollar Tree years ago, and I used to have shoes in them. But then, like I said, I needed something to accommodate these little pots. And so I will put the seeds in, you know, with the dirt and everything, and then I will put the pots in. Okay, however many would fit in each little container. So as you can imagine, I had several containers because I had several plants growing. And so when you have the little ones in there, of course you can fit many more, you know, of the little ones in each of these containers. So I have a bunch of these containers. I'm not really sure how many things I'm gonna get potted today, but like I said, I do want to get started with some of this. So that's what we're going to be doing right now. We're going to make sure we're labeling everything as well, so we know when we actually planted seeds, and when we get ready to transplant them into their forever homes, we know, you know, when it started, because that's going to be important too. You want to keep track of when you started planting things, just for future reference. So yeah, and today I'm going to be using, let me show you the materials as far as the dirt that I'm going to be using is. Okay, so I'm going to be using the rest of this, what is it, Expert Gardener Organics All-Purpose Plant Food. Okay, and this is 544. Okay, I'll explain that a little bit later, but I'm going to be using up the rest of that, and I think that's all I'm going to be needing. I don't think I'm going to need to go into my other plant food right now, but I also have this ready for the new season, this Dr. Earth homegrown organic and natural handcrafted blend tomato, vegetable, and herb fertilizer. This is going to be something new that I'm going to be using this year, and I did get this from Home Depot. I forget how much I paid for it. I'll try to leave it on the screen for you guys, but this one I got at Walmart really cheap. I want to say it was maybe $5 or something like that, and I really like this. This did me really well last year. I really liked it, and you can use this for flowers as well. So we're going to be using that. Now, when it comes to the dirt, I have tried, I think, almost every container soil last year, because I was just trying to figure out which one I really like the best. And I've also tried several compost, different composts. I've tried the mushroom compost, I've tried the Black Cow, I've tried the Nature's something, it's a green bag, I forget what it's called, and I think there was one more that I tried, but I can't remember. But offhand, those are the different composts that I've tried, and you definitely want to use compost. I feel like it really makes a difference. I won't be without it. Now, the Black Cow is more expensive than the regular mushroom compost, but you know, this you budget this to however, you know, it suits you. So like I said, out in the backyard, if you watched my previous video, you saw that I had a compost bucket out there, which was just a mixture. So every time I bought a bag of compost, I would just dump it into that bin and scoop from there. Well, since it's cold and I'm working out of my garage, I'm not bringing those buckets in here for fear of bugs coming into the garage. So we're just going to be working out of bags today. And so for my potting mix, is this called potting mix? Yeah, this is also called, sorry, I'm out of frame. This is also called potting mix. And today I'm going to be using the Vigoro potting mix. So I'm going to be using the Vigoro potting mix, which I like this one. I forget what other brands I've used that I like the best. But let me, hold on. Okay, y'all, so we're moving on to the seeds. And I was talking about potting mix, but I can't remember all of the potting mixes that I've used, so I'll have to just take y'all to Home Depot one day and show you everything, the different potting mixes that I used. But these are the seeds that I want to plant in February, or that should be planted in February, and can be planted in February. There are other months that you can start these in, but since this is the beginning of the year and I want to get started early, these were all of the seeds in my seed stash, so to speak, that can be planted in February. So that's how I kind of separated them out this year. I have some that can be planted in February, some that can be planted in March, April, and then you kind of have to read the backs of the seeds to see when the other times are, because there are different times in the year that you can plant. So if you notice, I am in this orange region here, and so as you see here, I can start in February, anytime between February and March, and then again in July through August. So this is definitely one of the ones that I want to plant, is the kale. I've never planted kale before, but I have planted collards, and I was very successful with the collards. So I figured I'd give kale a try, because I understand that this is a very healthy leafy green to be eating, and I want to start incorporating this into our diet. So we're definitely going to be planting some kale today. We're going to start on our peppers as well, our sweet peppers. I want to do some lettuce. I was not successful with lettuce last year, so I want to go ahead and plant some lettuce, and I have a few different varieties, so I'm going to see which ones I want to plant. I'm not going to plant them all. I'm trying to be very selective this year about what I plant. I do want to try these Anaheim chilies again. I was not successful with those, so we'll plant a couple of those. Let's see what else we have here. These are the collards. These are actually still out there growing. I just showed y'all, these in the previous video, and then the harvest that I had from them. Now this is called mesclun. This stuff is horrible. We don't like this stuff. This is like a spicy mixture of lettuces. Yeah, we didn't care for this at all. So I'll have to do some research on what this can actually be used in. I started to cook with it to kind of use it up and get rid of it, because I was growing it. I didn't want to just toss it, so I wound up just sauteing it up in different meals and stuff, like with chicken and whatnot. So I won't be doing that. I have a spinach here. We may try that. Here's some more spinach, and this is actually the type of spinach that I really like and I buy all the time from the store, so I may just plant that. Here's another hybrid spinach. Okay, here's some more lettuce. This is romaine. We're definitely going to try to do the romaine, because we did a lot of romaine here. This is another spinach. We've got to decide on which one we want to try. And then here's another spinach. So I was very unsuccessful with the spinach last year, so that's why I had so many, because I was trying, different varieties. Next we have this bunching onion, so we'll definitely try that, because I do buy those at the store. We'll try the snow peas and peppermint. I might go ahead and make some peppermint, because I do like peppermint tea. And then we have the daisies. I really feel like I just want to put the daisies in the ground. I don't want to... Well, you know what? I may make a pot of daisies just to put in the garden, but most of them are going to go in the ground. And then we have the grand bell pepper, of course. We're going to plant some of those. And then the last one I have here is the springtime pansy, which maybe I'll plant some of those to just put in the garden to give the garden some color. So that's pretty much everything that I want to go ahead and plant in February for this video. So let's go ahead and get started, dropping our seeds. Alright, you guys, so the first thing I did was I went ahead and I labeled everything that I want to go ahead and plant, because I don't want to have to be worrying about labeling and figuring out what goes into what, what I planted in what pot. I don't want to have to do all that back and forth. So I went ahead and labeled everything up front, and I put the dates on them, okay? As far as the spinach is concerned, I decided to go with the baby leaf spinach and the Bloomsdale spinach. I have like so many varieties of spinach, but I'm not planting all of them this year. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let me kind of back y'all up a little bit so you can see what's going on here. I've already mixed up my potting soil and my compost, and I added just a little bit of the fertilizer, just a little bit. You don't need too much right now because they're just seeds. Plus we'll be rehoming them, and that's when you really want to start giving them some food. But I just like to add it in just a little bit. So I'm going to put on my gloves here, and I'm going to start filling up these pots here with the soil. Let me grab one of these just so I don't make a mess. And see, I had kind of labeled these pots, but because I like to reuse them, I use these things. So I think I just didn't have any of those at that time when I was planting that. Alright, so now I'm just going to go ahead and fill up my pots. If I have to make more mix, then I will as I go along, but we'll just use what we have for now. It's okay if you make a mess, you know, that's why I kind of put this this blue vinyl down so I don't make a mess. This is my deep freezer I'm working on, y'all. You can do this in any space. Whatever space you have, just go for it. Okay, and I filled them up like so. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and fill the other ones. Okay, y'all, so one thing I wanted to note was that this bucket that I got here is really like one of those, it's like a little trash bin from the Dollar Tree as well. And this is obviously what I use to mix the soil in. Like I said, Dollar Tree is your friend when it comes to beginner gardening. You get a lot of your supplies from there. I think they even, some of the Dollar Trees may even have some soil that you can use. I know I had tried that at one point when I was trying the different soils, but when it boiled down to it for me, I prefer to buy my soil and like my compost from Home Depot. As you saw, I like to buy my fertilizer from, the dry fertilizer from Walmart. And then as we get a little further on, I'm going to be showing you some liquid fertilizer that I also can buy from Walmart or Home Depot. This year I went ahead and bought a big gallon size from Home Depot, but we haven't gotten that far into gardening yet, so I'll show you that as when the time comes. But I just wanted to note that, you know, you can get a lot of your supplies from the Dollar Tree. Okay, so now that we have all of our soil in our pots and our pots in our shoe bins, we're going to start planting everything. So you can either use your finger or you can use a pencil, whatever you see fit. Now in gardening, you're going to get dirty, so you might as well go ahead and use your fingers. But, you know, if you're kind of finicky still, go ahead and get a pencil or so, or maybe even the Sharpie that you use to label so that you can poke holes into the dirt so that you can drop your seeds. So let's start dropping our seeds. We're going to start off in this bin here. And as you can see, I try to keep some kind of order to them, to these seeds or these pots. I try to keep the leafy greens together, the peppers together. Of course, the flowers are over there, but there was the bunching onion. So I just that's kind of like my organization there. Does not have to be like this, but when I get ready to transplant everything, I like to have stuff in order. So, okay, here is the bay leaf spinach. And I will show you guys what these seeds look like. Okay, they're really, really small. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and drop these in. Okay, now I don't know if you guys can see. Okay, but here it's one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, and then one in the middle there. This other stuff you see in here is called perlite. That stuff helps to aerate the soil, so to keep the soil from like condensing on itself, and so that it gives, you know, the soil breathing room. So that's what those other little white specks are in there. So I'm just gonna push these down just a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna cover them just like that. Okay, and so I'm going to do the same thing to the Bloomsdale and the kale and all of the rest of the seeds as well. Okay, you guys, so as a rule of thumb, the smaller the seeds, the shallower you plant them. So as you saw, these daisy, this last batch pretty much of go ahead. This last planting that we did, the seeds were all very, very small. Also with the exception of, I think it was the peppermint, that were really, really tiny seeds. And so those don't need to be planted as deep as the other ones do. And so you just want to kind of add a little bit of soil just on top to just kind of cover it just a little bit. Okay, not too much. You just want to kind of cover the top of the seeds like so. Okay. Alright, so now that we're done planting all the seeds, we want to give these some water. And then I'm actually going to be taking these into the house because it's cold out here in the garage. But I have an area in my house, that I can put these. Obviously, you don't want to be planting these where it's going to be really, really cold. If you're planting them in your garage, you're going to need something like a heating mat and then probably like a grow light or something like that. Where I'm going to be planting this, well, in the house, it doesn't drop to below 30 degrees, obviously. So I'm going to be taking them in the house, hence me having them in these plastic containers. Now I did buy some new ones because last year, having these out in the elements or just outside period, these containers are made of plastic and so they break very easily. So some of them I've had to toss already, but I did buy some backups. Like I said, you can buy these at the Dollar Tree, so it's inexpensive. So yeah, I use this instead of those seeding trays that you see a lot of expert gardeners buy, and plus I'm limited on space. So like if I had a dedicated space in my garage where I could put all this stuff, then I would probably have those seeding trays and whatnot, but I don't. So I'm gonna just use what I have, working with what I have here basically. So let's go get some water so that we can go ahead and water this stuff in, water these seeds in, and yeah, then that's going to be pretty much it. We're going to let these sit and do their thing, and I will come back in a few days or maybe in a week or so to update y'all on these seedlings. But let me show y'all how to water these in. Okay, so I just have a water bottle here, just a plain old water bottle, and I punched some holes in the top. I hope you can see that. Yeah, I just punched some holes in the top. Now you don't want to drown these, so you just want to be able to water the seeds in. So we're just going to give these, so you see how it's like a shower? That's what you want to do. Okay, water them in. And the whole purpose of these shoe boxes here is to catch the water. Okay, and that's pretty much it. That's it, friends. This is the start of our spring garden. Okay, we're going to be watching this stuff very closely. Like I said, as the weeks go on, I will definitely come back and update y'all on how they're doing. We're going to water them as necessary, and then now that I've watered from the top, I'm not going to be I'll probably water a couple more times from the top, but once they start sprouting, you want to start watering from the container. So you would be pouring water into the container and letting the water seep up into the soil, let the soil soak up the water. So your starter pots have these holes on the bottom, so the water can just seep right up through the bottom, and that's how you water your seedlings. Okay, All right, you guys, so I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope this video wasn't too long. I tried to make it like really to the point, but still kind of detailed, because I know there are some new gardeners out there, and if you're, and you're watching and you're wanting to learn. It took me a lot of hours of watching YouTube to learn all of this. So I hope that that the way that I'm teaching you guys helps you and stuff like that. But definitely still do your research on YouTube. I'm not an expert, but this is how I know what to do. So if you enjoyed this, definitely give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more gardening videos from me, Lady Smash, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.